Mary Slessor was born in Aberdeen, Scotland in 1848. Life was not easy for young Mary. Her family was poor, and they lived in a small, crowded tenement. Despite the hardships she faced, Mary was a bright and determined child. She had a strong faith in God, and she found solace in her local church. Mary attended Sunday school, where she learned about God's love and the importance of helping others. At the age of 11, Mary had to leave school to help support her family. She found work in a cotton mill, where she worked long hours in difficult conditions. Even at a young age, Mary showed great compassion for those less fortunate than herself. Her kind heart and generous spirit earned her the respect and admiration of her peers. Mary's life took a significant turn when she discovered the work of David Livingstone, a Scottish missionary. Livingstone's tales of adventure and his commitment to sharing the gospel in Africa deeply resonated with Mary. She devoured his books, her imagination ignited by his descriptions of the African continent. Livingstone's example became a beacon of hope and inspiration for Mary. She felt a calling to follow in his footsteps and dedicate her life to missionary work. The plight of the African people weighed heavily on her heart. Fueled by this newfound purpose, Mary joined the United Presbyterian Church's Foreign Mission Board. She dedicated herself to studying and preparing for the challenges that lay ahead. In 1875, at the age of 27, Mary received her call to serve in Calabar, Nigeria. Despite the harsh climate and prevalence of tropical diseases, Mary was undeterred. Leaving behind the familiar shores of Scotland, Mary embarked on the long journey to Calabar. The voyage was fraught with peril, with storms tossing the ship and the constant threat of disease. Yet, Mary's spirit remained undimmed. Upon arriving in Calabar, Mary was greeted by a world vastly different from her own. The heat was oppressive, the air thick with humidity. However, Mary was determined to adapt and immerse herself in the lives of the people she had come to serve. The cultural differences were stark, and Mary faced many challenges in her early days. Despite the initial difficulties, Mary refused to be discouraged. She threw herself into learning the Efik language, her natural linguistic abilities aided by her unwavering determination. She spent countless hours with local villagers, listening to their stories and observing their customs. Section 4. Embracing a new culture. Mary's commitment to understanding and respecting the local culture was key to her success as a missionary. She recognized that simply preaching the gospel was not enough. She embraced the Efik way of life, adopting their clothing, their food, and even some of their customs. This earned her the respect and admiration of the Calabar people. Mary's compassionate nature shone through in her interactions with the people of Calabar. She treated everyone with dignity and respect, regardless of their social standing or beliefs. Her efforts to learn the Efik language paid off, allowing her to build deep and meaningful relationships with the villagers. Section 5. The Mother of All the Peoples. One of the most significant contributions Mary made to the people of Calabar was her stand against the practice of twin killing. In the Efik culture, twins were seen as evil omens, and it was customary to abandon them in the bush to die. Mary was horrified by this practice, and she made it her mission to save as many twins as she could. She would travel to remote villages, often at great personal risk, to rescue abandoned infants. She took these children into her own home, providing them with food, shelter, and love. Mary's actions were met with resistance from some quarters. However, Mary's courage and determination never wavered. Over time, her unwavering commitment began to chip away at the deeply rooted superstition. Word of her compassion spread far and wide, and Mary became known as Ma Slessor, the Mother of All the Peoples. Section 6. A Legacy of Love and Courage. Mary Slessor dedicated over 40 years of her life to the people of Calabar. She never returned to Scotland, choosing instead to make Africa her home. She died in Calabar in 1915, surrounded by the people who had come to love and revere her. Mary Slessor's legacy continues to inspire people around the world. She is remembered as a woman of great courage, compassion, and faith. Her story continues to inspire generations to fight for justice and equality for all.